Hi everybody, that's Allie.
And that is Dash.
Welcome to our Playdate,
where we choose a game, sometimes make up our own rules, and play for a while.
Enjoy listening and playing along.
Or don't. We can't hear you. It's a podcast.
I have to sit up straight because I was told recently that the camera angle makes me look much bigger than I am in real life. And, I'm kind of trying to get away from that. So I'm trying not to look as corpulent.
I just always like curl up over here, and kick the microphone with my shoe.
Yeah. You do,
and then I regret
crisscross applesauce.
all of my choices because my limbs go numb. Yeah.
It's before you know it, we're 20 minutes into the episode and then
my leg is numb and I'm up. Like, do I just kick or do I becomes like a mind over matter situation.
So Allie.
Yes.
This is the season opener to episode to this is
the season opener
to
episode 10.
Season 10.
This is a season 10 premiere.
Season 10 premiere.
As someone else may say.
Season 10 debut. And we always play a get to know us game.
Yes, we do.
To open up a season, right? So,
right.
Yeah, it's a good way to get people, like if people wanted to just like start at the beginning of a season, this is the get to know us game. So I told you I had a game and I wanted to surprise you with it because I think the visual of me showing you this game will be a nice visual for the people watching us on YouTube.
Okay.
So this is a game called Do You Remember? And it is right here.
It's the tiniest. Oh.
Isn't this the tiniest game?
Oh, it is precious.
It could like fit in your, like I could carry this around on a daily basis.
I could put that in my bra.
It's just such a tiny game.
What a petite little queen.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, how cute. Yeah. Obsessed.
So
Fully
this is
obsessed.
It says so the instructions card is go back in time with friends and family, simply draw a card and read it out loud. Everyone takes turns sharing their memories and stories. When ready, draw a new card and continue reminiscing.
Do you remember?
Yeah. So I just think we should each draw a card and it went under the couch. It's staying there. I'm gonna have to buy a new deck.
It's over. Yeah. You know what we should do before
What's that?
We do that? Hey, little ghosties.
Oh, hey, little ghosties.
Thanks for joining us here on the season 10 premiere.
Yeah. Welcome. We're glad you stuck with us for 9 full seasons and are getting started with us on the 10th.
And welcome if you're just starting now.
Yeah.
You're always welcome here.
Yeah, we're playing a get to know us game so that you get to know your podcast hosts that you're talking to.
Do you want to go? You want to answer first or you want to read first?
I'll
let you pick.
Yeah. I'll answer first.
Answer first.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just going to pick on top.
Sure.
Do you remember what first big, in quotes, purchase you made with your own money?
I do, actually.
And how much did it cost?
I don't remember how much it cost, but the very first big purchase I made with my money when I started working was I took all of my friends out to lunch. Like we all got together. I paid. None of us had a car, so I paid for all of us to get on the bus and go over to La Carreta, and I bought us all lunch, and we just spent the day together. And that was my first big purchase with my paycheck.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's very nice.
Yeah,
that is nice.
I don't know. I like giving back to my friends, right?
Well, I wasn't like this when I was like younger, but my new thing is like I would much rather give somebody an experience than as a gift than a physical thing as a gift. Unless I know it's like, oh, they really need X, right? Then I'm happy to do that. But I would much rather like try to give somebody an experience, or here's time that you can spend with a person. Here's an investment in a class or in a whatever. So I'm trying to think of ways that I can give people more experiences rather than things.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Because the things just get thrown away.
Right. Or they disappear after a little while.
Yeah.
But experiences never go away.
Right.
They're just there forever.
Yep.
Allie, do you remember being scared by something as a child? What was it, and does it still scare you?
the thing that's sticking out in my mind the most is my house growing up was like a ranch style house.
Mm-hmm.
And I had the room all the way at the end of the hallway. And then across was my parents'. And then in the middle of the hall was the bathroom. Mm-hmm. And then there was my sister's room at the end.
Okay.
And for some reason, if I had to get up and go to the bathroom, I would like get up. Going to the bathroom was not a problem. But I was so scared of like going back to my room that like somehow something would emerge from the end of the hallway. Oh. So I would like, flush the toilet, wash my hands. I would look out in the hallway, look both ways, and then run back to my room. And it was only like 5 steps. Yeah. Like it was not far. But I remember one night, my mom the next day was like, I heard you running last night. And I was like, I didn't do that. But yeah, that totally scared me for some reason.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Freaked me out. And I was scared of the basement for a long time. I remember I felt so grown up when I like went to the basement by myself and I was like, it's fine. It's that scene in Home Alone.
Yes. Yeah.
Like it really was that scene in Home Alone for me. Like I was so scared of the basement. And then one day I was just like, shut up. And I went down there. So yeah, I was scared of both of those when I was a kid.
Yeah. Yeah. Basement was a big one for me. Because I lived in an apartment building. So like the basement wasn't just mine, right? It was the whole building's basement. And our basement was divided into 2 sections. The first section at the bottom of the stairs was where all the
Dash, all you had to say was shared basement, and I'm already terrified.
Just horrified. Yeah. The first half of the basement was where like the breakers were for every apartment and where like people would put their trash so that at the end of the week, the landlord would come and take it up to the curb. Yeah. Right. So whenever we had to take the trash out, I would have to go down into the basement and put our trash in the big pile.
No.
But the second half of the basement was where all of I get here in Florida, we have utility sheds, but over there, you just have like a little fenced in area.
Yeah.
Where you keep all your Christmas decorations and like your bike that you only use 3 or 4 times a year, whatever. So that side was always dark because the switch to turn on that side of the basement was inside of that section.
That's poor planning.
That is terrible planning. So when I would go down to take out the trash, the light would be on in my section of the basement, but that section of the basement was pitch black.
It was full of demons.
You don't know what's in there. Demons and monsters.
Demons, monsters.
Scary carnies.
The devil! Who knows? Spiders?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I hated the basement.
Yeah.
Also, the stairs were awful. They were like wooden stairs. Yeah. They were just a little bit too thin.
I didn't have stairs in my house growing up.
Absolutely not.
So I mean, other than down to the basement, but I wasn't going down there. So
yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
So I guess if you had to narrow it down, the dark is really the answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember that show? Are You Afraid of the Dark?
I do remember.
That's not my question. But,
okay.
Do you remember a favorite inside joke with coworkers, friends, or family?
Let's see. I mean, I feel like there's lots of inside jokes, especially with us in improv. So one of my favorite ones is unfortunately not PG enough, for the podcast.
Great.
But it's one that was birthed in improv back when we were still at it was a long time ago, but it was like, get your somethings out and get your blanks up. Mm-hmm. That one where we would just say that to each other. Not you and me, but like we would all say it to each other as sort of like a come on, let's go. Like just do the thing. And we said the words, but yeah.
That was a good time.
We still say it. Allie,
yes.
Do you remember your first crush?
I don't. My mom says I had a crush on a boy named Gabriel when I was in preschool, but I don't remember Gabriel.
Okay.
My mom says that we used to ask if we could sleep together during nap time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember that at all. I think he's still in my hometown somewhere. Maybe he's got like a barbecue truck or something. Anyway, I genuinely don't.
A rap career?
No, I think he's got like a food truck now, or wow. I could be thinking of someone else. But yeah, I don't remember him.
Yeah.
at all. Mm-hmm. No, not at all.
I had a lot more memories of this person when I was obviously a little bit younger, but like now it's all sort of faded into the ether of memories. But yeah, I had the same thing. Like when I was in preschool, there was like a little girl and we always used to like hold hands and play together and nap time and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Was it you?
No. We did not go to preschool together.
No, we did not.
We lived in different states. That would have been a very long drive for one of our parents.
Yeah, that is true. Go ahead, Allie, it's your turn.
My child just lives at this daycare now. Yeah. I drove 16 hours to get them.
What is the travel time from Michigan to New Jersey?
Well, from Grand Rapids to Connecticut is, I want to say, like 12 to 14 because I did it once with a friend. So I'm guessing it's probably around.
Okay. Yeah, like
depending on where you are in Michigan and where you are in Jersey, I'm guessing it's around 12 to 14 hours.
That's fascinating because it's like 2 days to get to Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember learning to ride a bike? Who helped you? Do you remember your first bike crash?
So yes to some of that. I remember learning to ride a bike, and I was much older than you should be to learn to ride a bike because I lived in urban New Jersey, right? Where we don't have a lot of like a trip to the park was a special occasion. It wasn't something that you could just do on the weekends, right? So whenever we would go to the park, my parents would be like, all right, we're going to the park. Like the 3 times a year we would go to the park and we'd load up my bike and I would try riding it around. So I was on training wheels for a really long time because I could never practice riding my bike.
You're going to like ride on the street or on the sidewalk?
My parents didn't want me to. They thought it was too unsafe, right? Or that I would like hit somebody and they'd end up suing us or whatever. Like, I don't know. They were just worried. So the only time I was allowed to ride my bike was at the park. And then the way I learned how to ride 2-wheel was because I just became too big for the trainers. And what would happen is, they just started bending out of the way. So it was just like I was riding on 2 wheels whether I wanted to or not because they just couldn't hold me up anymore. And I think my uncle was probably the one who put the most time into teaching me how to ride a bike. Yeah. But yeah, it's unfortunate when, and honestly, like I ended up really bike riding when I moved down to Florida. That's when it got like.
Do you like riding bike?
I used to. I ever since I got a car, I felt like there was no need to, but I don't mind it as long as I have a nice wide seat. Like I definitely have to get a better seat than the banana one that comes with the bike. I just don't understand bike seats at all. I do not get bike seats. That is the most uncomfortable design that anybody has ever created for anything.
You do not need to tell me anything. I am not interested in riding a bike at any point.
Yeah. Right.
Maybe a stationary bike if there's no elliptical open.
But like
maybe.
So
because then I'm just maxing, I'm relaxing.
Back in like college or something, I figured I would try to lose some weight by riding my bike to go to shorter distances or whatever. And the very first thing I did was I bought the bike and I bought a nice wider seat that didn't have that weird protrusion in the front. And that was fine. I enjoyed that. Allie, do you remember a food you never thought you'd like that you love now, or vice versa?
Yeah, tomatoes.
Really? Mm-hmm, you never thought you'd like tomatoes and now you love tomatoes?
I didn't like them when I was... Mm-hmm. I think I liked them when I was a kid for a while, and then I started to get like weirded out by them because they have that like weird gel.
Yeah.
And I was like, that gel is just, it's gross and I don't... Ugh. And... But now, I love tomatoes. Mm-hmm. I could eat them like cooked in things, but I was not about that raw tomato life.
Got you. Yeah.
And now I am about that raw tomato life. I love them.
You're the one who I learned how to have tomatoes with my eggs.
Oh, yeah.
Like an omelet with a tomato on it?
Listen, tomatoes for breakfast, give it to me. I'm here for it.
I'll go to Wawa and get a breakfast panini.
Do you want to know a fascinating fact about tomatoes?
Please. Always.
So
every time.
Botanically, they are a fruit because vegetables do not exist botanically.
Sure.
But by American law, they are vegetables.
Huh. Is that because of the food pyramid and the
it was
subsidies?
because of some taxes thing. And somebody was like, no, I don't want to pay that much. It's a vegetable because I don't want to pay the fruit. And then the court was like, okay, fine, it's a vegetable. And the botanists were like, what? Huh? And the courts were like, no, we said it's a vegetable, so it's a vegetable. Everyone be quiet.
Yeah, we're just going to classify it as a vegetable. That's fine. So eating a pizza is
taxes.
Pizza is like a fruit salad. No?
Pizza is, it's basically fruit salad.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Get a banana pepper on there. It's 100% fruit salad.
That sounds really good right now. Maybe I'll do that after this. All right, let's do one more each.
I know your favorite pizza topping.
Yes, you do. And you hate it.
And I hate it. I was going to ask you, but I already know.
Chicken and onions.
Good luck with that.
I love chicken and onions. It's a good pizza topping.
This is a bad question. Do you remember a favorite snack from childhood? The answer is either yes or no, but
yes.
Elaborate.
Do I remember a favorite snack from childhood? Back when I was a kid, you can get a bag of Wise potato chips for 25 cents.
Wise, wow, nice.
And one of those little, I don't know if you remember them, they looked like clear barrels, but they were tiny bottles of juice with an aluminum top.
Yes.
So you could get those for 25 cents. So I would just buy one of those and a Wise potato chips, and 50 cents would be my snack for the day.
And you're living your absolute best life.
Yeah. Like as a kid, just go outside and play. Here's 50 cents. Buy yourself a snack.
And it's like red juice. It's not even juice. And you come home and like your whole mouth is red from the juice.
Yeah. From the flavored colored water. Basically, it's what it was.
Oh no. The things we feed children.
Let me tell you though.
So bad.
Let me tell you. I haven't seen them in the stores in a very long time.
I know. Now that you mention them, it's like unlocking a memory. Wise potato chips.
Yeah. But
listen, if you live somewhere where they have them, tell us where they are.
Wise potato chips still exist. Like you can still find them in the stores.
Can you find them here?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're just not as prominent on the shelves anymore, but you can definitely find them.
Oh, okay.
It's like Dunkaroos. Dunkaroos still exist. They're just like on the lower shelf and not as prominent.
I was never a Dunkaroos kid.
But on a hot New Jersey day, going into a bodega and getting yourself an ice cold 25-cent mini barrel of colored juice water, that hit the spot. That was, let me tell you, that hit. If I ever find those again, I'm going to town.
Yeah, I grew up in a rural area, so there was no walking to the store. I was a rural juror when I was a child.
Yeah, we had a bodega literally across the street from me.
No.
Yeah.
Across the street from me, woods.
Like we knew the dude. He'd come to our house for Christmas. Like it was
woods. What was across the street from me?
I remember. I visited your childhood home. There was nothing but woods behind and in front of.
Yes.
Allie, so last one for you. Do you remember a beloved item from your childhood or teen years that you still own?
I still own it. It's not with me.
Okay.
I think it's at my my sister's house in Michigan.
Okay.
But I got for 1 year for Christmas, I think it was like a Macy's thing or it might have been a Target thing. I'm not sure if Target was around at this time, but they would release like a stuffed animal for that year.
Yeah.
Christmas themed stuffed animal. Sometimes it was like an elf. Sometimes it was like a candy cane, whatever.
Right.
1 year I got a snowman. For some reason, I have no particular affinity with snowmen. I don't know what it was about this snowman. I slept with that thing every night for probably a decade. Like, I think I even brought it to college with me.
Wow.
And eventually it was that and a bunny. A bunny also joined the ranks. It was like a gray, fuzzy bunny. The bunny I understood because I'm like, it's a bunny. Like, it's cute.
Yeah.
This snowman, I cannot tell you why I was obsessed with it. I do not know. I had to have it.
Yeah.
I carried it and slept with it for so long. It was gray.
Yeah.
But you couldn't wash it because his little top hat had a hole worn in it.
Aww.
So if you put him in the washer to take the gray off, all of his stuffing's going to come out the top of his hat, which was worn thin.
Yeah.
And he had this little red and green scarf. He's got to be somewhere at my parents' or my sister's house. I could not bear to get rid of him. I can't. Aww. And I could not tell you why I loved him. I think it's just one of those things. And I think all kids have it. Mm-hmm. They just, this is it. This is my thing. This is my toy truck. This is it. This is the only thing I want. And for me, it was the snowman.
Oh, wow.
I know.
Everybody has that. Yeah.
I do think kids just,
we just get attached to a thing.
They're like, this is the thing that I love. And there's no explaining it. There's no, I want to carry around this dog toy, or I want to carry around this bunny or whatever it is. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't hurt anybody, so go for it. Yeah.
For some people, it's like a little blankie.
Sure.
For some people, yeah.
I did have a blanket when I was a kid, which is also somewhere.
Yeah.
But I didn't. This is weird. We're gonna get weird. So you know how some kids suck their thumb and like they'll hold on to a blanket and suck their thumb?
Yeah.
I didn't suck my thumb. I sucked on the blanket.
Oh, wow.
What a weird kid.
A little bit. You think that's why you're diabetic now?
That's what did it.
Folks, we have unlocked the mystery of diabetes.
No, I used to suck on the blanket and I remember it had an edge around it, but I definitely wore that off. Right. So one side, like some of the threads were like the thin threads and the other side of the threads were like the cottony ones. So I would like suck on it and rub on the cottony threads. Why was I so weird?
That's not weird. That's just being a kid.
Who sucks on a blanket?
Yeah, that I don't know.
I don't either.
Did you suck on a blanket when you were a kid?
Yeah. Am I like revealing... This is a lot of information about me.
This is to talk about with your therapist.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna really need to break this down in therapy because I don't know why, but yeah, I had a blanket and I graduated from the blanket to the snowman. Maybe that was why. It's like the blanket got taken away.
Got it.
And the snowman just came right at the right time, and I said, "You're it,
it's like
buddy."
A rebound, and then you just stuck with it. Yeah.
Yeah. Had a big breakup and then suddenly there's a new man in town. A snowman, baby.
Yeah.
He's dapper. He's got a hat.
He's all snowman. No snow boy.
No snow boy, man. He's got a top hat. He's dapper. He's got a scarf. Little ascot.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So that was, do you remember the Tiny Pocket game? And it was by Chronicle Books. And you can find it at chroniclebooks.com, designed by Kristen Hewitt. So
we have to rate it because it's so cute.
Yeah.
I'm going to give the box one of those little puzzles that you get when you go to a kid's birthday party that has the balls inside and you
shake it around.
You shake it around,
trying
to get the balls.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I'm going to give the box.
Okay.
A ball maze. Not because it looks like a ball maze, but because the delight and joy you feel when you receive one of those and then you solve it.
Right.
It's that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
The cards are little squares with, what do you call this on the edge? Beveled edge? Is that a beveled edge?
That is, no, that's not a beveled edge. I don't know what it's, a rounded corner. It's just a rounded corner.
Okay, fine. A rounded corner.
Yeah.
And I like it. It actually reminds me of like a kind of a beehive situation.
Yeah, a little bit. It's little clocks.
I like it.
It's a continuous pattern with little clocks. That's what the pattern is. And
right, I know. Cool. But it looks like a beehive.
It does look like a beehive.
I like the little cards.
Yeah, I like the design in general. It's just got some cool design elements, like the rounded corners, the cropped corners on the design itself,
and they're really
pattern.
Smooth. Like the cards feel really good in your hands.
Because they're glossy, but they're not like sticky glossy.
Oh man, they're nice.
I like that.
Yeah, these cards are delicious.
Legit, yeah. And they're tiny. They fit in the palm of your hand.
I'm going to give the cards a communion wafer. Why? I don't know. They're about the same size, maybe.
Sure, yeah. That's fantastic. Fun.
Same smoothness.
I had fun. We had a good laugh while we were playing.
I had some unlocked memories, so I don't know if that's fun or terrifying, but here we are.
Tonight in our dreams.
Here we are. And it's very easy to play.
I mean, yeah.
The
you
level
pick a card, you ask a question, you answer it.
Level of difficulty is non-existent.
No, not at all. All right, cool. That was Do You Remember by Chronicle Books, designed by Kristen Hewitt. Welcome to our 10th season.
Happy season 10, double digits.
Yeah, wow, that's right. We're in double digits now.
Sure.
We're a full preteen at this point.
We're a tween.
Yeah. So
we're going to start acting out soon.
Yeah. Here's to our next 10 seasons, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Now we'd love to hear from you.
You can visit playdatepod.us to watch our videos,
Access our episode library,
find out more about our brand of quality, clean comedy,
and contact us with any questions or comments.
Improvisers love audience suggestions, so make sure you visit playdatepod.us.
And the podcast you just heard was a production of Society Circus Players.
If you like what you heard today, please rate, review, subscribe, and share it with a friend.
And finally, if life's a circus, we're the clowns!
We have to start acting out.
Disrespecting our moms and calling them Susan.
Calling her dad by his first name.
Yeah.
Not his full first name.
Yeah. Yeah, not like Harry or anything. But just
Jim.
Like